Let's talk to Morrigan, shall we?
Yes?
Are you certain Corypheus is using the power of the Blight to make himself immortal?
Perhaps you forget. I was in Ferelden during the Fifth Blight. I have seen a true archdemon rage. How Corypheus gained the power to send his soul into blighted bodies, that is the real question.
Will answering that question let us destroy Corypheus for good?
Perhaps. I would suggest first dealing with the well. If Corypheus obtains it, any chance of success could be lost.
I'm gonna regret picking this.
You said this Mythal was worshipped as a goddess.
So one assumes. What is a god but a being of immense power? The dread old gods were nothing more than dragons, after all. They rise as archdemons, and they die. Perhaps Mythal was a powerful elf, a ruler among her kind. History often plays storyteller with facts.
You admit lack of knowledge, and yet dismiss her so readily?
I do not dismiss her. I question her supposed divinity. One need not be a god to have value. Truthfully, I'm uncertain Mythal was even a single entity. The accounts are varied.
There are varied accounts of Mythal.
In most stories, Mythal rights wrongs while exercising motherly kindness. Let fly your voice to Mythal, deliverer of justice, protector of sun and earth alike. Other paint her as dark, vengeful. Pray to Mythal and she would smite your enemies, leaving them in agony.
More Dalish tales, I assume.
If you know more about this, Solus, speak.
The oldest accounts say Mythal was both of these, and neither. She was the mother, protective and fierce. That is all I will say. This is not a place to stir up old stories.
Whatever the truth, all accounts of Mythal end the same. Exiled to the beyond with her brethren.
What do you mean, exiled?
Tricked by the Dread Wolf, as all the elven gods were said to be, trapped in a land beyond the Fade. Many Dalish believe this is why the elves fell from grace, and their gods did not save them. Or perhaps they were simply rulers slain by Tevinter. Who can say?
I fucking
Let's continue.
hate. I hate so much that this part of the game is written without any consideration to Llewellyn. It's all completely written as if you're an outsider to all this knowledge. Like, we just listened to Morrigan explain who Mythal was to a Dalish elf. What the fuck? Was it really that difficult to not, like... What I'm saying is, would it really be so difficult to include extra bit of dialogue or a bit of options in there separate for Llewellyn?
Atishol vir Abalassan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shiven. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
Okay, here's another example. Why the fuck can't Llewellyn translate it? She's an elven apprentice to the first to the keeper, and canonically that means she's studied written elven.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mythal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
So, good Andrastians, we offer a prayer to elven gods.
I'm not
If need
Andrastian.
be, unless you wish to turn back. Well done. Let us see what awaits. I see the Red Templars have already encountered the temple's guardians.
Those elves lay an impressive ambush. Where are they?
Preparing another display of hospitality, no doubt.
They're just protecting their temple. Jesus, Morrigan.
Why would this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the Dread Wolf, Fen Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen'Harel in Mathal's greatest sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
My clan set statues of the Dread Wolf outside our camp. They're meant to frighten harmful spirits.
Perhaps.
See, how
I thought
fucking
the
difficult
ancient
would it be
elves
to have a
above
special
held
dialogue option
superstitions.
when talking about the Elven
For all
language
your
or talking about
knowledge,
Mythal?
Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind
Fuck off,
this?
Morrigan.
None we can discern by
Solus knows
staring at
way
it.
more than you.
We've spent enough time here. Come on.
As you say, let us see what awaits.
God, Morrigan pisses me off in this mission.
Hold them off!
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
People are dying outside while we stand here. If we use the tunnel, more of our soldiers can flee.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
You're very eager to reach our destination.
Are we not all eager to stop Corypheus from achieving his mad plan?
It sounds like what you want is that well.
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
It's not fucking yours to do anything with.
I should take your word that this is altruism and not hunger for power.
Yes. Far easier to believe the Witch of the Wild's full of greed. Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
Did you not trust me enough to tell me about this price when you read it?
I hoped to find more information. If I intended to cheat you, I would have feigned ignorance entirely. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
I fucking
Okay,
think
what?
not.
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way. Yes?
I want to discuss the well again.
Oh, I see. An opportunity to use the well may not even arise. I understand this. All I meant to suggest is that, if it does, I be the one to do so. I am willing to accept the consequences.
Yeah, what about when you later decide to fucking attack Abelas if he threatens to destroy the well? What happens to accepting then?
What if something happens to you? What about your son?
Kieran is a strong lad. He will thrive, with or without me.
Are you sure of that?
I am sure of precious little these days.
What's this?
I believe we are in the presence of the elven
What's
goddess
this? Llewellyn
Andrul,
says.
Lady of the Hunt.
Or a goddess of sacrifice, according to some.
Truly? I wonder if that is why Andrul's patron animal is the hare. 'Tis said the Dalish invoke her before a chase, especially if they happen to be stalking humans.
My clan avoided human settlements. Never mind raiding them.
A sound tactic, if one has room to maneuver out of harm's way. Other Dalish clans do not keep so scrupulously hidden.
Yes, yes, we all know how awful the Dalish are. Ugh.
Who is this meant to be?
Fallon Dean, overseer of funerals and guide to the elven dead. I have heard the Dalish invoke him on their deathbed, or before quests from which they expect no return.
My clan's hunters asked for his blessing when we fought bandits. Our keeper taught them the prayers.
I do not believe they sing songs about Fallon Din's vanity.
Do you know any legends?
It is said Fallon Din's appetite for adulation was so great, he began wars to amass more worshippers. The blood of those who wouldn't bow low filled lakes as wide as oceans. Mithal rallied the gods once the shadow of Fallon Din's hunger stretched across her own people. It was almost too late. Fallon Din only surrendered when his brethren bloodied him in his own temple.
My clan never told a story like that about Fallon Din.
The further the Dalish spread, the further their stories branch and grow. Never mistake them for arbiters of true elven culture.
No, because it's all true elven culture, Solus. Just because they're different doesn't mean one is less than the
Will you
other.
abandon these rituals, Inquisitor? Think carefully. There is no return once we leap after the Templars.
Everything is lit.
It wants to say something, but I can't hear it.
Come, let us see if the doors have opened.
Here we go.
'Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
No shit.
Venavis. You are unlike the other invaders. You have the features of those who call themselves Elven. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
They are my enemies, as well as yours.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Our people have lost everything. They need you. They could learn from you.
Our people? The ones we see in the forest, shadows wearing Valisleen. You are not my people.
Fuck.
And you have invaded our sanctum as readily as the Shemlin.
We knew this place was sacred. We've respected it as best we could.
I believe you. Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition. You have shown respect to Mythal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
Shut the fuck up, Morgan.
I accept your offer.
You will be guided to those you seek. As for the Vira Belasan, it shall not be despoiled, even if I must destroy it myself.
No!
Morgan!
Hey, Morgan, literally, what the fuck happened to accepting if you can't have it?
Be our guide.
Mytholanast.
That's helpful, since Morrigan chased off on her own.
You're
She
a
seeks to
Dalish
protect the Well of
elf.
Sorrows.
You can speak
She
Elven.
turned into a bird.
You speak Elven in other places in this fucking game. Also, like, the part where Abelas says, "You are not my people," I think just shakes Amaris to her fucking core. Like, that just taunts her. Where did the guide go? Guide lady! Oh, she's back here.
This place looks untouched.
I've seen Orlesian palaces with less gold. What did the ancient elves do here?
Perhaps it was meant to kindle a sense of awe in visitors.
Well, it's working.
Why can't I... Can't do anything with that mosaic, apparently. Just has a label on it. Can you please hurry up?
The Well of Sorrows.
Maker's balls.
So Mithal endures. It's loud.
How did that fucking guy just cast, like, flamethrower magic on that elf?
You tough bastard. A day's march, hours of fighting, and still fierce as dragons. The Chantry never knew what it was throwing away.
Samson, sir, watch out!
Inquisitor. You and those elf things don't know when to stop. You've hunted us half across Thedas. I should have guessed you'd follow us into this hole.
I spoke with your Tranquil, Maddox. He sacrificed himself for your cause.
I told him not to. He died as one of us then. One of the faithful. Corypheus chose me twice. First as his general, now as the vessel for the Well of Sorrows. You know what's inside the well? Wisdom. The kind of wisdom that can scour a world. I give it to Corypheus, and he can walk into the Fade without your precious anchor.
What's your part in it? What's a vessel?
What else empties a well? I'll carry its power to Corypheus. One more task entrusted to me. Being force-fed Chantry lyrium was good for something. This armor makes me a living fortress, mind and body. I won't forget a word of the well's knowledge. Corypheus will be unstoppable.
Corypheus already caused one disaster. Help him now and he'll rip the world apart.
I'm helping him reshape it. He's had centuries to make ready. You're no match for Corypheus. Even if you drink from the well, you'll never master its wisdom as he could. This is the strength that Chantry tried to bind. But it's a new world now, with a new god. So, Inquisitor, how will this go?
Power's all well and good, until it's taken away.
What did you do? What did you do? My armor. It's gone. The lyrium. I need it. Kill them all! Take them! Show you bastards! There we are!
Somehow lyrium just like made him grow. I don't know how that works.
You think you'll win? Ha! Come on then! No mountain to save you now!
We don't need a mountain this time.
You can't take it from Corypheus. You mustn't.
Still breathing after all that. Impressive.
We can take him back to Skyhold for judgment.
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
It's his fucking right.
So the sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Enough.
You cannot honestly...
I said enough.
The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
This can't be easy, holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
Huh.
You have shown respect to Mythal, and there is a righteousness in you I cannot deny. Is that your desire? To partake of the Vira Belasan as best you can? To fight your enemy?
Not without your permission.
One does not obtain permission. One obtains the right. The Vira Belasan may be too much for a mortal to comprehend. Brave it if you must. But know you this. You shall be bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to a goddess who no longer exists, if she ever did.
Bound as we are bound. The choice is yours.
Is it possible this Mythal might still exist?
Anything is possible.
Elven legend states that Mythal was tricked by Fen-Harel and banished to the Beyond.
Elven legend is wrong. The Dread Wolf had nothing to do with her murder.
Murder? I said nothing of...
She was slain, if a god truly can be. Betrayed by those who destroyed this temple. Yet the Vira Belasan remains. As do we. That is something.
Are you leaving the temple?
Our duty ends. Why remain?
There is a place for you, Lethaline, if you seek it.
Perhaps there are places the Shemlin have not touched. It may be that only Uthenera awaits us. The blissful sleep of eternity never to awaken, if fate is kind.
Thank you for this gift, Abelas.
Do not thank me yet, Shemlin.
Malas Amali Nahalam Abalas. His name, Abalas, means sorrow. I said, I hoped he finds a new name.
You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so... hungry.
Yeah, get the
Don't
fuck
go any
away
closer,
from
Morrigan.
it.
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Fuck you.
Or more likely to your own ends.
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
You alone. This is my heritage.
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which you could only dream.
Fuck you.
Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
Yes.
I would be.
You lead the Inquisition. This is not a risk you can take. I have the best chance of making use of the well for everyone. Let me drink.
You're not concerned about the price. Bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to the will of a dead god? It seems an empty warning. Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
What's to stop you from taking the knowledge and leaving?
My word. If that seems insufficient, Corypheus threatens all. Even myself. He must be stopped.
And who stops you?
I, Inquisitor, seek neither immortality nor your life.
Looking at it, listening to it. That's not just knowledge from the ancient elven priests. It's their will.
How would you know such a thing?
Oh my god.
That's what Abelas was telling us. The collective will of the priests puts anyone who drinks under a compulsion, a gas. Can't you feel it?
That would match the legends, but it does not tell us what the gas entails. I would still use the well, but you are right. We must be cautious.
If anyone is to use the well, it will be me.
So you will take what little knowledge you can understand and let the rest go to waste?
And who's to say it will go to waste?
I do.
Luckily, I don't give a fuck what you say.
Perhaps it is better this way. Do as you will with the Well of Sorrows, Inquisitor. But be careful.
Why am I here? Corypheus, a Magister wishes to rip the veil open. I must learn how to stop him. If you can help me vanquish Corypheus, take whatever price you wish.
Inquisitor! Inquisitor! How do you feel?
Scream of rage. More like a grunt.
The Illuvian!
Through the mirror!
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
Yes, but since when is Corypheus then wise?
He won't hide.
You hear it. The well speaks to you.
It's voices, whispering from so far away I can barely hear them.
If only one who understood such voices had used the well's power instead.
Then we'd have to rely on her interpretation of them, and whatever she chose to tell us.
Have I not been forthcoming enough for you, Spy Master?
No.
I told you what the well could have done, Inquisitor. You should be hearing shouts from the heavens, not whispers.
Fuck off, Morrigan.
I have the well's power, Morrigan, not you.
Earlier you said you knew what needed to be done next. What did you mean?
The dragon isn't an archdemon. It's a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his power. Kill it, and his ability to jump to other bodies is disrupted for a time. He can be killed.
That's no simple task. Corypheus alone is powerful, but where there's dragon...
There is a way, but I'll need Morrigan's help.
The voices from the well tell you that, do they? Very well, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready to begin this plan of yours.
Are you certain of this?
We have no choice. If Corypheus comes here now...
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.